As you know, folks, the guiding light for conservatives is the Constitution. The protections from a totalitarian government that it contains were the template the Founding Fathers used for our people to guide our efforts to keep and maintain a civilized society consistent with the rule of law. Throughout our history, challenges to that vision have come from at home and abroad. Now it appears those challenges come from a united front as the America Last coalition partners with foreign nationals. Their goal, the elimination of the West and our way of life. Common sense unites with conservatism. A winning formula to protect our people is the focus of today's preamble. As I have been showing this audience, Europe has abandoned all common sense and Western values. Case in point, massive protests have broken out in Romania as a reform figure, Călin Georgescu, was denied participation in that country's presidential election. After a surprise win in the first round of voting in November, officials invalidated Georgescu's victory, claiming that free speech on social media somehow illegally swayed the election. Fast forward to this weekend, which saw the nation's frontrunner being denied again by apparatchiks in Romania's election bureau. Like Trump, Mr. Georgescu has only grown in popularity. Leftists in government are accusing him of being a fascist, an agent of Mother Russia, and a far-right extremist. Sound familiar? The truth is he challenges leftist totalitarian control. He seeks an end to left-wing corruption. And that's a threat to the European Union. Thus, the lapdogs of Brussels simply won't allow anyone else but a collectivist pinko to win. Back here at home, leftists haven't secured as much control over the levers of power yet. After the 2024 election, these enemies of mankind are out of power. Now, they can only resort to cringe videos staged in illegal demonstrations and lawbreaking to disrupt the common sense agenda put forth by the America First coalition. One of the biggest phonies in American politics, reviled Texas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, actually took to the airwaves of MSNBS and claimed that illegal immigration isn't a crime. Let me say it again. One of the leaders of the Democrat Party says illegal immigration isn't a crime. Common sense says that's insane. In truth, improper entry into the United States is a federal crime in violation of 8 U.S.C. 1325, punishable by fines and up to 6 months in jail for the first-time offenders. Repeat offenders can be subjected to fines and up to 2 years in prison. Under 8 U.S.C. 1326, re-entry of removed illegal aliens who have been removed following the conviction of 3 or more misdemeanor crimes can face up to 10 years in the joint. Re-entry of removed illegal aliens who were kicked out following conviction of a felony can face up to 20 years in prison. Yeah, it's a crime. The opposite of Democrats' lawless lunacy is DHS Secretary Kristi Noem. Here she is telling leftist Margaret Brennan of CBS Fake News that the U.S. military will stay on the border as long as it takes to fix what Joe Biden and the Democrats broke.
We'll continue the partnership with the Department of Defense, but also we've got partnerships with Commerce, with the Attorney General's office. You know, we're working every day with the Secretary of State. We'll keep them there until that border is completely secure, and we see all-time record lows of encounters. Our Border Patrol is doing fantastic work, but we're going to keep them there till the whole world gets the message that this isn't Joe Biden's world anymore. This is President Donald Trump's country, where we have a border, where we have laws, and it applies equally to everybody. I think that is what is so refreshing, is that we're not picking and choosing winners and losers anymore. Americans have to live by the law. So do those who come to this country. You have to come here legally or there will be consequences.
Yeah, especially foreign nationals that come illegally. The folks at CBS Fake News very concerned about the military staying on the border, as you can tell, and protecting our people from mass illegal immigration. But they're also very concerned about illegal aliens being able to stay in the country. As you all know, traitors in the U.S. government have been leaking to the press and the bad guys about these ICE raids designed to round up criminal illegal aliens. They have found 2 of these betrayers inside of government, and the DHS Secretary says lie detector tests will be applied to those inside of government so that apparatchiks won't be able to help lawbreakers avoid justice. Allowing government officials who help lawbreakers to remain in government is the definition of foolish. It's just as insane as, welcoming people into the country who wish to work hard toward this country's destruction. The Trump administration has arrested and will deport a prominent pro-Hamas activist who helped lead demonstrations at Columbia University. Mahmoud Khalil, who graduated from the university in December, was arrested Saturday by Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents. The Department of Homeland Security confirmed the arrest, saying it was a result of President Donald Trump's executive orders. Khalil has not been formally charged with a crime, but the 8 U.S.C. 1227, called Deportable Aliens, the statute lists violations that foreign nationals can commit and be removed. Many of those could apply to Khalil. Common sense says Americans shouldn't be obligated to welcome enemies of our country into our borders. Common sense says we shouldn't give our enemies a sporting chance to harm us. And so long as the America First coalition is in charge, we won't do that. The worldwide left is a menace to mankind. They've been busy eroding the protections of our people for decades. Now that Americans appear to be tired of all of that, perhaps we can solidify protections for our people. Common sense protections that will make it harder for criminals, terrorists, and despots, regardless of their origin, to hurt the American people in the future. You know, folks, I thank God for my wonderful wife, my kids, my country, the greatest nation ever. And Americans like you who believe in the truth, the Chris Salcedo Show will never stop fighting for you.
The Chris Salcedo Show, for the news you need to know.